Hey, I'm Evan Thomas, and this is Into It Over It. And this is for Start Something. I'm gonna answer some questions for y'all. When I was, that's a good question. When I was doing 52 weeks, well, yes, the songs are very literal. When I was doing 52 weeks, it was very easy to tell what the songs were about because I was writing a song every week. So if you were hanging out with me that week, odds are you knew what was going on in my life. I think, as far as, usually when a song is about somebody, I'll tell them. I'll be like, hey, I wrote this song about you, and then I'll send them the song and see what they think. And more oftentimes than not, even if it's like a slam jam, someone will be actually pretty okay with it. Like they'll be like, wow, I'm really mad at you, but that song's actually like pretty all right. So I got that kind of going for me. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I think like for the most part, you could probably tell if you know me. And you know what, and I love telling the stories about them, so it's like if anybody ever asks me what a certain song's about, I'll gladly tell them the story behind the song. I think that makes like such a big deal. Like I know if it was my favorite band and I wanted to know what the songs are about, I would love to hear like the full story about what they were thinking or what was going on at the time. Yeah, I did this thing called 12 Towns, which what I did was I wrote 12 songs and recorded them pretty much all at the same time, and then decided to put 2 of them out on a split 7-inch every so often with a band that was really good friends of mine. And the whole point of the project was to have this thing that could not only promote me, but promote my friends' bands, my friends' labels, my friends who are graphic designers or photographers or artists, and kind of just include everyone in this big like community-based project that could also have like, you know, 6 fucking records come out and make something really cool and collectible out of it. But yeah, as far as the songs go, it's just I'd spent a year touring before I wrote them all, and they're all just about specific examples of stories that had happened to me in that town or anecdotes of things that have happened in that town. And because of my literal songwriting, I don't really know how to write unless I have like a specific thing I have to talk about. So being able to put like I made a list of towns where stories had happened on that tour, and then just kind of adhered to that list when it came time to write a new song, like picking a subject topic or something like that. So that basically sums it up. On the records, it's me playing everything except for drums. A lot of it is actually really spur of the moment and last minute. Generally, lately the writing process has been I've been approaching my buddy Nick, who sings and plays guitar in a band called Castavet, but now he drums in Stay Ahead of the Weather, which is my other band, and he's more of a drummer than a guitar player, which if you heard me say that, you'd agree. But I basically just come to him with one guitar part with the basic structure of the song. It's the same way I've written pretty much every other time, and I'll just be like, here's the basic idea, and we flesh out the general structure. And then when we go to record it, we'll do drums first, and a lot of times it's been me writing bass and second guitar pretty much on the spot. Like just like, oh, that sounds cool, or that's a really cool idea, like let's go with that, or just like fleshing it out until I have it ready. Because like at that point I'm so familiar with the songs, I kind of hear how I want it to go in my head, but I haven't quite figured out how to play it yet. So really the main focus when writing is just kind of getting that main guitar part, the drum part, and the lyrics done before I think about recording it, just so at least I have, even if it was just bare bones, it would still be something, But that's pretty much the writing process. It's actually a lot. It's just really me just playing guitar in my room a lot, and then deciding to pick something out and work with it. Koji and I were on tour last March, and we were driving around. We were in his van, and we'd realized right around that point that we were 2 people that had known each other already for about 10 years. His old band El Toro used to play shows with my old band The Progress, and I grew up in like right outside Philadelphia, and he grew up in Harrisburg, so we were kind of attached to the same scene. And realize now about 8 years later that we're doing pretty much the same thing with a little bit of a different approach, but we're 2 best friends, and we're driving around, we're just like, hey, you know what, like it's kind of both of our idea. We were just like, hey, let's do a split LP. We're like, all right, and like they kind of talked about it loosely, and decided eventually to start putting the plans in motion, and we approached No Sleep with it, and they were really stoked on the idea. And they put us in the studio, and it was really cool. Like, we made these in-studio videos for it, and it was basically us recording at the same time. So like 5 hours a day would be me, and then 5 hours a day would be him, and we could kind of like feed off each other with ideas and talk about the songs with each other, and, you know, sang on each other's stuff, played on each other's stuff. Like, I played bass on his side, and yeah, and the reaction's been superb. Like, I don't think we ever expected to get such an awesome reaction. Like, the record's already out of print, and it was only been out for a month, which is incredible. And, you know, Associated Press wrote about it, and like all the reviews have been really positive. It's just been really cool to be able to just make something with your best friend and then have people get excited about it the same way that we're excited about it. So. When am I not touring? I've been on tour nonstop since about a year ago, and I'm finally winding down. Like, I have to take February off and April off, and I'm basically during that time writing a full length, and that's pretty much what I do. And when I'm not on the road, I'm just writing the whole time. Like, this, I'm in a unique position where Intuit Over It has been able to supplement my income. Not in the best way, but it's enough to eat, and it's enough to pay my rent, and it's enough to be able to keep playing music, which is really all that matters to me. Yeah, my quality of living isn't super high, so it makes it a little easier for me. I had played a couple shows at Transit beforehand. I knew them a little bit. Stay Ahead of the Weather had played with Day Trader in Brooklyn. We got to meet them for a little bit, but they're two awesome bands, and Day Trader especially, like, because we're doing longer portions of the tour. Like, I met up with them the day before, and we were doing like 6 more shows together, and those dudes are the best dudes. We get along so well, and it's really fortunate, especially because I tour by myself. Like, I don't have anybody with me, so to be able to get along and feed off of another band and like create a really strong relationship with another band is really special. So it's been really cool. The first 10 weeks were really difficult. There's a couple weeks in the middle, like week 13 was really tough, and like week 21 was kind of tough, and then it was got into a rhythm for a long time, and it wasn't until about week 46 that it got hard again. But it wasn't really, like, once your life falls into a rhythm, it's pretty easy to keep going. Oh my God, the new Everyone Everywhere LP, the whole thing. I wish I wrote that whole record. It's so good. Jay, like, there's a few things. I wish I wrote Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, because that song is the f***ing jam. I really wished I wrote that song. The first band I ever really loved was a band called Sunny Day Real Estate. And then using that kind of propelled me into emo, like mid-90s emo, when I was almost too young to really get what I was listening to. But that was like the life-changing moment in my life when I heard that, and then started finding out about bands that were associated with that. And you know, and then when I was about 16, I got into hardcore. Like, I started going to hardcore shows and found out about all these other bands, and that's the community that I grew up in, was this, like, emo, indie rock, hardcore community, and that's pretty much shaped who I am today. I don't think I would be the same person without it, and I kind of fear what I would have been without it. After this tour, I spend February writing. In March, I'm going out with Moving Mountains in the Southwest United States, and then doing South by Southwest. And then there should be some days with Look Mexico following that. Then I go home and I spend the rest of April finishing the full length. Then I go out again in May. I'm doing East Coast, which I can't really announce yet, but it's going to be awesome. And then after that, I record the LP in June. So fall release. And then the last 12 Town split comes out in May, and it's with a band called Such Gold. And that'll be out, that'll be out in time for my East Coast tour. So that's pretty much it. Awesome. Cool, man. The song's about New Jersey, and it's called Pinky Swear.
Hazards flashing for a fireworks display. Stop to watch it, but I'm too busy thinking of every single chance that I was too afraid to take. Life gets in the way of living and interrupts the could've, would've, should've that I ask myself each day. Where I've spent my time and how I'm spending it, and if I'm simply wasting it away. swear that we don't throw it all away.